A parole hearing is a hearing to determine if an inmate should be released out into the public and remain on parole for the remainder of their sentence. Now, in these two cases coming up here, things didn't really end that great for these guys. But you know what? It's kind of fun to watch because after watching them, I don't think they should be released either.
Would you introduce yourself, Mr. Hart, and tell us your name and your DOC number, please?
My name is Michael Horton, 484353.
All right. Mr. Harton, my name is Cheryl Renanza. This is Mr. Roche and Mr. Freeman seated with me this morning. We are your panel today. We're here for a revocation decision. And I think in front of you, sir, do you have a parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your signature at the bottom of that page, dated December 5th, 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
Based on that information, sir, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. So are you ready to proceed this morning with your revocation decision?
Yes.
All right. So I'll read the allegation against you, after which you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty to violating the condition. And then we'll talk about it. So you're accused of violating condition number 4. And it says on April 22nd, 2023, you were arrested by Shreveport police for committing the misdemeanor offense of battery of a dating partner. On November 13th, 2023, you pled guilty to the amended charge of disturbing the peace. So how do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Not guilty.
You want to tell us what happened?
Yeah, on that date, the victim came over there, the alleged victim came over there to my house, and she started a commotion, and then cause she thought I was talking to the other woman that was there, because there was a lot of friends and family there, and they end up getting into it, having words, and they exchanged blows, and next thing you know, everybody stopped them from fighting. Next thing you know, about 2 hours later, the police came and they asked who was Michael Horton, and I said, it's me. Next thing you know, they asked what happened, and a couple of people told them what happened. Next thing you know, the police said if they found out that they lying for me, that they were gonna take them to jail. Next thing you know, an argument came between the police officer and my witnesses, because they threatened my witnesses. Next thing you know, they went ahead and locked me up and charged me with domestic dispute.
Next thing you know, I'm going to think, well, I'm going to say he's probably lying.
They came back like an hour later and charged me with battery of a dating partner, because they said the girl was lying about being pregnant to enhance my charges. So I bonded out, told my parole officer what happened and everything, and she just told me, tell her what the outcome gonna be of the situation. So about October the 5th or something like that, I missed my court date, and they put a warrant out for me, and I went and turned myself in because I missed the court date, and I've been fighting it ever since.
Yeah, but you pled guilty in court to disturbing the peace, did you not?
Yes, ma'am, because up under my discretion, my parole officer said if my charge get dismissed or they drop it down to a lower charge, that she'll lift the hold, but ain't none of that right there proceeded. So I copped out to the charges just so that I can come home.
So the victim in this case, were y'all in the car?
No, ma'am. We was on Jackson Street. Ain't none of that never occurred.
And Miss Scott is the victim's name.
Yes, ma'am. We were never in no car. All this happened outside.
Mm-hmm. And Whitney Boykin, she witnessed, says she saw you punch Miss Scott in the face several times. There one witness said that.
I don't even know who that is. Like, I never seen my motions or none of that. Like, that's why I was going to court every day, so that I can see my alleged, or guess cross-examine my witness, because that never happened. Like,
wasn't me.
So I don't understand what you say happened. Tell us what you say happened.
I just told you When she came over there, she thought me
Where
and
were
Lisa
you?
on Jackson Street,
Outside.
35, like 35 something Jackson Street. I just know we was at a
Whose house?
friend.
Whose house were you at?
My friend Ralph.
All right, and what happened?
She came over there and she thought that I was talking to the other girl, Lisa, and none of this stuff never occurred. So they got into it and they had some words, and next thing you know, a fight broke out. Ma'am?
Lisa and Miss Scott got into it, you saying?
Yes, ma'am. And we broke the fight up. Like, and then about an hour or two later, the laws came.
And who is we? You said we broke the fight up. Who did it?
Ma'am?
Who broke the fight up?
I did, and Ralph broke the fight up. Like, it was a lot of people over there. It was like a get together.
What's your relationship now with Miss Scott?
Now, I don't talk to her. Like, after that, after I told my probation officer what happened, and she told me to cut ties with her, that's what I did. Like, I never talked to her after that, to this day.
Did you get in jail?
No, I was out there. I bonded out that same day.
Yeah, I see, I understand.
I bonded out, stayed on the street for 6 months. And then when I was going to court, I missed my court date. And the next day, I thought it was on the 5th, but it was on the 4th. So when I did go on the 5th, he told me that I had a warrant out for my arrest. So I turned myself in.
I got it. Is there anything else you want to, y'all have any questions?
Yes, I have one question. Mr. Hart, good morning.
Yes, sir. Morning.
You said you broke up a fight between your girlfriend, Miss Scott, and another young lady. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And the fight was over with, and 2 hours later, the police came and asked for Michael Hart.
Yes, sir.
So I wonder why they would ask for you.
Cause I guess she says that I did something to her, like, and when I told them everything, like I had witness there and everything, like.
But we have a witness say that Ms. Markin said that you punched her in her face.
But that never occurred. Like it never did occur. Like.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a statement you'd like to make?
Like that's why, like not too long ago, like her brothers and her other sister even put a bubble on the just so that, you know, cause they ain't know that I was in jail all this time. They thought I just left or whatever, and they wrote a statement for me and everything. My sister posted something to you. Like I never did none of that stuff.
Do you
Like I
believe
never, that never occurred. Like that's why I was going to court to fight these charges.
But then you pled guilty to disturbing the peace.
Yes, because I got stuff like I got jobs out there, I got kids out there. Like, come on, like.
Of course he has kids.
I even told my lawyer.
Commander, is there anything you want to add about Horton?
Yes, ma'am. He was booked in and transferred here on October 13th, 2023. He had a write-up for refusal to go to his cell when told to on October 19th, 2023. And he had another write-up on October the 23rd, 2023 for refusal to go to his cell when told to.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Man, why are you telling on me?
Want to say anything else?
Man, I just had one right up because I just got out the shower.
All right, Mr. Horton, I think we're ready to vote. I'll be voting first. For my vote today is going to be revoked to revoke your parole. You might, Mr. Rocha.
Mr. Hart,
Yes, sir.
I found guilty of violating number 4.
I can't hear nothing you saying.
Parole supervision
I can't hear
contract.
you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mr. Hart, I find you guilty of violating condition number 4 of your parole supervision contract involved in criminal activity. Therefore, I'm revoking your supervision.
Mr. Freeman.
I've also found him guilty of violating conditions of his
Man, fuck y'all crackers, man.
contract.
Look, give him I'm gonna say that's probably something he shouldn't have done. I guess it didn't matter though at that point.
Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today's date is August the 7th of 2023. The time is 8:35. Our panel members today are Ms. Pearl Wise, Mr. Pete Freeman. My name is Tony Maribel, and I'll be acting as chair. Support staff located here at DOC headquarters in Baton Rouge or
Carla Williams,
thank you.
Denise Evans,
And our remote location is Iberia Parish Jail. Mr. Segura, is there anyone there with you? Any staff members there with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Would the staff introduce themselves, please?
Sergeant Laura Tarver,
Thank you, Sergeant. Our first case is going to be a parole revocation. Mr. Segura, would you give us your full name and DOC number?
Yes, sir. My name is Brian Lee Segura. My DOC number is 726-765.
Mr. Segura, I want to explain our process to you. I'm going to cover your parole revocation questionnaire. Then I'm going to read the allegations of how you were alleged to have violated your parole. Then I'll ask you to plead either guilty, not guilty, guilty with the statement, or not guilty with the statement. And then at the appropriate time, we will allow those persons who wish to have any input. Currently on the phone, wanting to speak on your behalf is your mother, Miss Penny Segura, your cousin Johnny Broussard, and your cousin Mona Broussard. And then we'll have a full discussion with the panel, and you'll have an opportunity to say whatever you'd like to say, and then we'll vote. You understand our process?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you have before you your parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Is that your signature, Mr. Segura, at the bottom dated June the 27th of 2023?
Yes, sir, I do.
Was that information accurate and correct when you signed it?
Yes, sir.
Is it all still accurate and correct today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you ready to proceed with your revocation hearing?
Yes, sir, I am.
I'm going to read the allegations against you, and I'm going to ask you to enter your plea. Number 4, you engaged in criminal conduct on August the 6th of 2022 through September the 27th of 2022 when you committed domestic abuse battery by strangulation, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. How do you plead to those charges?
Not guilty.
On June the 12th of 2023, you appeared before Judge Anthony Salimi in the 16th JDC in St. Martin Parish, and the charges were dismissed. On September, the next allegation is on September the 23rd of 2022, you admitted to consuming alcohol and were referred to Keys Outpatient Behavioral Clinic for a substance abuse evaluation. To date, you have failed to provide proof of enrollment and or attending Keys Outpatient Behavioral Health or any other treatment facility. How do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Mr. Segura, your case has been assigned to Ms. Pearl Wise. She will begin our interview process. Would you please answer any questions she might have?
good morning.
Good morning.
You was released on parole on August the 2nd of 2022, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And these incidents began August the 5th to September the 27th of 2022, is that correct?
That's what was said.
That's what was said, so tell me what happened.
Okay, so how you doing, Mr. Tony? How you doing, Ms. Wise? I'm kind of.
I know,
This is my life I'm fighting for, Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Wise. This is my life is not disposable. My life has been made a mockery of for the past 330
Mr. Segura, you will have an opportunity to state your position. Right now, we're going to ask you to answer Ms. Wise's questions. You'll have an opportunity to explain yourself. And
Right off the bat, I knew this guy was going to say a lot. He was just going to say way too much.
to say all of those things. But right now, she's asking a specific question. So just answer her questions and you'll have an opportunity to say what it is you'd like to say.
What happened between August the 5th and September the 27th involving the victim in this case? In your words.
That I have no, the only thing I'm guilty of in that matter is of cheating, Ms. Wise and Mr. Tony. I don't want to make me look like a bad guy, but that's the case. This is what happened. She went through my phone, she found some things, and then the next thing you know, not on from August 5th or 6th to September, you're telling me I abused her this whole time and nothing ever came about. I want to answer the question, but I need to say everything for this in order for this to.
Mm-hmm. So your statement is you never hit her. You never strangled her.
No, ma'am.
You never hit her. You never strangled her. Okay. So what was the reason for the protective order that was issued on October the 5th of 2022? What was the reason for that? Do you know?
No, I have a paper here. They dissolved the protective order. There's no.
Well, we don't have that. We show, or maybe the facility can fax it to us. We don't have that. It shows that it's in place until October the 4th of 2024.
No, it says after execution, the court filed the order dissolving the protective order issued in this matter on October 5th.
Okay. Ask them, can they fax that to us?
Oh, yeah, this whole paper.
It's on the dismissal court paper.
I don't think they have.
It's on his, yes, ma'am, it's on his St. Martin 2022-258891. The minutes for his dismissal.
Okay.
Mr. Sanji, on a motion from Mr. Sanji, it was ordered that the matter be dismissed. After the execution, the court order dissolved the protective order issued. It's the very last statement right before it said that the court was then honorably adjourned.
Okay. We'll see if we can get that, but right now I don't have that in front of me.
I can email it if you'd like me to.
Yes, ma'am, please.
And it's pearl.wise@la.gov.
Can I read it to y'all first before? Can I just read it?
That's one way to get it to me. Yes, ma'am, that'll work.
Okay. One moment, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Tony, and I'm sorry, Ms. Wise. I
understand. I do understand, but the information I have showed it was still in effect, so I'm glad. So now let's turn our attention to the allegation of not completing treatment. Why?
I have. So, and on the bottom of that paper she's faxing y'all is my insurance policy number. That is the whole reason. I did, Miss Sarah Taylor, probation and parole, asked me to go to Keys for Sober Living, which I did the same day. I went there, I signed up, and I took a drug screen. Passed the drug screen, everything was negative. The only thing I didn't follow back up, being I didn't have the insurance. But being incarcerated in St. Martin Parish Jail, I've got the policy number and it's on the bottom of that paper, and my mother has the policy number to my insurance now. I couldn't go to Keys for Sober Living with no insurance.
That was not indicated in anything that we had.
Yeah, I know. And she has the paper from Keys from Sober Living also, Miss Sarah Taylor.
I mean, we have the paper that's showing that you did go, you did the assessment, but you had a return appointment that you did not keep.
Yeah, I never had the insurance to go back.
They told you do not come back until you get your insurance?
No, and I'm gonna be all honest with y'all. They did not say for me not to go back. They just informed me, listen, to do Keys for Sober Living, you need to have insurance. So, and I was at the time, I worked 2 jobs, Ms. Wise, Mr. Tony, not 1 job, 2 jobs. I was back and forth through Lake Charles, DSL construction, and AVAX, painting planes. I worked 2 jobs there. So throughout that time, and I ended up getting arrested ultimately. So I didn't have.
When you're working 2 jobs, how did you end up having time to drink?
Well, and that's another thing. I have never, And I've been on drugs since I'm 13 years old, Ms. Wise and Mr. Tony, and I'm here today to say that for the last 18 months of my life at 30 years old, I've been clean and sober, not smoke nothing, not pop nothing, not snort nothing. But I did, as a working man, working 12-hour days, I did sit at the hotel. I get per diem. Either I can use the per diem to come home with, or I could get a hotel. I did sit at the hotel as a man after working in the sun, 90-degree, 100-degree sun. I did sit down at the hotel with the 5 other people I worked with, and I did open a alcohol beverage, and I did take 2 sips, put it down, and go take a shower. And I admitted that to my parole officer. I didn't hide that from her. I didn't keep that from her. That's the only way she knew about that. I admitted that to her. I told her that, not thinking she would have tried to get me in trouble over it or violate me for having a sip of beer, of Corona.
So he told on himself.
That. And I don't want to be, yeah.
Okay, let me go and stop you right there. And there was another allegation that you went to the casino, that you were gambling with your girlfriend. What do you say to that?
Never. I live by a truck stop. I live by St. Martin Parish truck stop, and they have a Subway and a hot food corner in there. And honestly, I'm there every day eating Subway and the hot food corner. The hot food corner has some of the best hamburgers around, and I'm there every day eating. I have never.
So your statement to me is that you are here, you're in jail, and you didn't do nothing. That's what you're telling me. You didn't do nothing.
For once in my life, listen, I've been on parole and Ms. Wise, and listen, I'm on the same path you're on. For once, I've been on parole since 2018. Every time I've been arrested, I'm calling the parole officer. I'm calling y'all probation and parole.
So let's stick with this one. Let's stick with this release in August of 22. Let's just stick with this one.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm calling probation and parole to come revoke me because I know that I'm wrong with something. I have never done this in my life because I refuse to say that I did something I did not do. And I still remain innocent as an innocent man today. Not only did St. Martin Parish, the state of Louisiana could not try me and found that I was an innocent man and dropped all my charges, dismissed the protective order. I was also on probation. I went to in front of Your Honorable Susan DeMaye on June 19th. You know what she says? She dismissed my revocation and reinstated my probation. I owe a £0 for parole and probation. I paid. I reported every time. This
Okay,
is the first.
let me stop you there. Let me stop you there because you're still getting off this supervision. So tell me this: what do you need? What do you need to get out of jail and stay out of jail? What do you need?
The only thing. What do I need as a person?
Yes.
As an individual, yes. is to pick better people to be around. Because for the first time in my life, I've worked so. I have a $150,000 mortgage that I've worked so hard for that I'm behind now. I have vehicle insurance that lapsed. Ms. Wise, Mr. Tony, I'm a productive man. I pay my taxes. I pay my bills. I have a mortgage. I have car insurance. I pay daycare. The mother to my child right now can't even work the hours she works because I'm not there to pay for childcare. I have so much going for me and had so much going for me.
The document to y'all email that they'll send.
And for once in my life, Ms. Wise, Mr. Tony, I'm a straight shooter. I would not be sitting, if I did anything wrong and I was wrong and I committed this, I would not be sitting in front of y'all to this day. I would not. Because if I did it, I did it. I didn't. I will not come and say
That's all I have. That's all I have. Let me hear from your witnesses.
Segura, let me ask you a couple of questions.
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry for getting
you've been whoa. Now you answer our questions. While you were in jail, you got charged with bringing contraband in, didn't you?
You got no. I guess no. It was yes.
No. What's the answer? Because you were in jail even after they dropped these charges because you had new charges having been accused of bringing something into the jail. Yes, and you ended up pleading guilty to criminal mischief. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir. But
so that's why all the charges were dropped, because the victim said she dropped the charges. She didn't want you prosecuted. You got a new charge while you were in jail. Even after she dropped the charges, you stayed in jail because you had new charges while you were in jail. Isn't that right?
No, sir. This was all taken care of the same day. What you saying is right. I'm not saying that's wrong, but this was all taken care of the same day. And only because the district attorney in St. Martinville said, look, man, she wrote an affidavit saying.
Mr. Segura. Okay, answer my question.
Yes, sir.
You were in jail on this revocation hold and you got a new charge.
Yes, sir.
And what was that new charge?
Criminal mischief.
No, you weren't arrested for criminal mischief. You pled guilty to criminal mischief. You were charged with contraband in a penal institution.
Yes, sir. And so it was
what was the allegation for the charge of contraband in a penal institution?
Yes,
everybody's wrong but you.
No,
so
I'm not.
Answer my question. What was the original charge for contraband in a penal institution? What did they accuse you of doing?
They accused me of 12 cigarettes. I'm not saying I'm not saying you're wrong on that, Mr. Tony, and I'm not trying to say everybody's wrong but me. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, all these charges were just, I did not do this. I did not commit no domestic abuse. If I would have been falsely arrested in the first place, none of this would have ever happened. I was wrongfully arrested in the beginning.
All right, Mr. Segura. Okay.
But
How long you said you've been using drugs since you were 13?
Yes, sir, I have.
How did you stop?
My last time being incarcerated, when I went home, I had my baby girl, and whenever I looked at her and whenever I put that in my life, I knew one thing: if I don't stop using drugs, if I don't get on the right path and get a job and work a job and hold a job and pay my bills, pay my taxes, have a mortgage, I will never have my daughter in my life. And I could not face that fact. So for the first time in my life, I'm here to say that after 18 months of me being clean and sober, and I used drugs since I was 13 years old, I'm proud to say to this day, I'm still remain clean and sober. And
now let's hear from your supporters. Let's hear from your mother, Miss Penny Segura.
Bruiser doesn't like him.
Ms. Segura, would you please introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your son?
I'm Penny Segura, Brad's mother, and Brad has not been in trouble when he was little, and just as he got older, he had a job and met new people, and I'm not going to say people made him do anything, or like I said, people do what they want, they all fall. He came back up. He was doing so well. And
you see, right there, that's the problem. The mom's making excuses for him.
Then I don't know what like it just out, and it's hard to stay away from his friends and his people that all come together when they together. I can't explain. I'm nervous right now. But he really is a good kid. He tries very hard. He has a lot of things going on, He's a very smart child. I've learned that since then. He's learned a lot about himself, and I learned about himself also. And I'm proud that he is my son. But I would really want to be able to go where he would be out of trouble and not. I don't even know no more. Like I would like to see my son get better and do what he has to do to get in his daughter's life and just be the man that I know he can be.
Thank you very much, Ms. Segura. We appreciate that. Is Mr. Johnny Broussard there with you?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Broussard, if you'll introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your cousin.
My name is Johnny Broussard. I have my own business, and I told Brian when he got out, he can work with me. I'm like a miscellaneous contract. I do different jobs, painting and stuff. I've been successful for the last 5 years with it. And I know he's a good kid, but I've been around for a long time, and he just needs to walk his own walk, He said nobody can stop him to do it but himself. And I'm just going to give him a shot when he comes out.
Thank you very much. Is Mona Broussard there?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Broussard, if you'll introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know.
I would just like to say that he is a good child of kind heart, but he just need to do his own way and do right and walk the straight path. But I know he can do it because he is a good child, been around him since day one.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Mr. Segura, is there anything you'd like to say before the panel votes?
Yes, sir. I would just like to know, you seem to say, you said everybody's wrong but me. And I'm sorry that you took that from me, Mr. Tony, but that's not true. It's real, listen, it's real, and I would like to speak on my behalf when I say this. It's real frustrating and it's detrimental to my life. Mr. Tony, I have a $150,000 mortgage that I'm behind right now. I've been incarcerated for the last 330 days, consecutive, day after day after day. All charges was dropped against me on June 12th. It's August 7th, and I'm still remain incarcerated. No, to date. No one is going to help me go and do everything I've been working so hard for, staying clean and sober. I have a mortgage through Vanderbilt. I have a vehicle. My insurance lapsed 5 months ago. No one, you know how hard it's going to be for me to get back up and where I've already was down in life. And now I build myself up to be the man that I am to this day. And like I said, Mr. Tony, if I was guilty or wrong of anything that I was originally accused of, I wouldn't be sitting in front of y'all to this day because I would have been revoked myself. But I would not say I'm guilty of something I did not do, Mr. Tony. It's just that it's injustice. It's inhumane. It's not right. My life is not disposable, man. I've been trying so hard through life, and finally I got to a point to where if anything I'm guilty of is cheating, man, and I should have never, and that's something that I am wrong of. Other than that, Mr. Tony, I pay all my bills. I do everything out there that I'm supposed to do. I've been clean and so I've been on drugs since I'm 13 years old. For the first time in my life, a 30-year-old man, I'm clean and sober, man. For the last 18 months, I've not smoked nothing, popped nothing, snort nothing. That's the biggest thing I ever accomplished in my life is to remain clean and sober and stay this way. I'm not out there hurting people. I'm not out there robbing, stealing, killing. I live in a neighborhood, a trailer park of 22 people. 17 of them people, I cut their grass for free on the weekend. I don't deserve to be incarcerated. I hope that y'all find it in your heart, Ms. Wise, Mr. Tony. I hope y'all find it in your heart that I don't deserve me being incarcerated is the best thing for me. I think not, man. I have so much going out there, so much going. And me to be, and I've been incarcerated 330 consecutive days. There's a chance I might not even get none of that credit at all, Mr. Tony. And 70 of those days are solely on just a parole hold. There's a chance I might not get none of that.
Thank you, Mr. Segura. We appreciate your comments, sir. Panel vote. Ms. Wise.
For me, young man, for me, there's too many moving parts in this. You had a preliminary hearing. They found probable cause in the allegations, although you were not found guilty in court. But the preliminary hearing, they found probable cause that you committed those offenses. We're voting now. For me, my vote is to revoke your supervision and that you complete a long-term substance abuse treatment program while you're incarcerated. That is my vote.
Mr. Franklin.
I concur.
Mr. Segura, you have 2 votes to revoke your parole. Mr. Segura, as I listen to you, I see before me a young man who has got a significant substance abuse problem. I think your characterizations of everything, the way you talk, everything else stems from your substance abuse. And it looks like you've gone to the Steve Hall program. I don't know whether you completed it or not back in 2018.
Sir, I did.
But you need more treatment. I agree with my colleagues. My vote would be likewise to vote, but recommend that you be allowed to have long-term substance abuse treatment. That's our vote. Good luck to you, sir.
Can I ask one thing? What does that mean?
Well, it means that you've been revoked, and we're going to recommend that while you remain in prison, you get to go to a long-term substance abuse treatment program.
And
Trying to get you some help.
what does that mean? That would mean Stephen Hall?
Means exactly what I just said, Mr. Segura. You've been revoked. You're going back to prison to serve your time, and we're recommending that you do get long-term substance abuse treatment.
Even after I just served 330 days consecutively?
6 months of that was for the criminal mischief charge you pled to.
I did this all the same day. Is what
Good
I'm
luck
saying.
to you, Mr. Segura. We'll be closed down at Iberville Parish. Thank you very much for your help there.
Oop. Well, I guess that one didn't work out for him. And I think he just talked too much. I think he would have been a lot better off if he just kept his mouth shut. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe on your way out, and feel free to leave a comment. Have a blessed day.